Hey guys, today we'll be dancing with the devil in Ryan Coogler's latest masterpiece, Sinners. Let's get into it.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Till the End of the Line podcast. I'm your boy Wanji, and back with me in person again.
Giga T.
That's right. He is back in studio at the Avengers facility again.
Yep.
The proto-adamantium knee's doing well,
We're
right?
doing good. Yep.
Body's not rejecting it. That's very good.
That's
very good.
The tendon is awesome.
Nice. Yes, we are happy that he is in-house again. We are going to be, as he said, talking about Sinners. Mm-hmm. This film was awesome. Ryan Coogler does not miss.
No.
I thoroughly enjoyed this film. But before that, we have a bit of nerd news to get into.
All right, I'm going to crack this bad boy open for a debt well paid.
Oh, yeah, I will put that in. Yep.
Thank you for that.
Yep. All right, first up in their news. Shout out to our buddies at Film Addicts, because I heard this on one of their episodes that Chad Stahelski got the job as director for the upcoming Blade movie. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Feige, for listening to one of our episodes and hearing me on that one, because that was my bid for him to get the job. I was excited that he wanted to do that movie and he had interest in it. So I'm excited to see what he's going to do with the Blade movie, because if what he did with John Wick, I thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah. Some relevant news with this being, new director, new script happening. Originally, Sinners, the original script was a pitch that Ryan Coogler had.
Yeah, that's right.
The very first attempts at making a Blade movie.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah.
Well, I'm glad he didn't get it, because then we got this project,
Absolutely.
Which I'm really happy about. Another bit of news, Vincent D'Onofrio responds to a fan who asked him which character he would want to portray outside of William Fisk, and he responded with Swamp Thing, and our producer really was liking that he said that.
Yeah.
I am not mad at that either. I think he would do a really good job as that
because
character.
it would just be a voiceover, similar to like Groot or like, what's the dude that does Ultron's voice?
James Spader?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All
I'm with
right.
it.
I got the name and the camera didn't throw me off. All right. That's a win for me. So, next bit of news. Beetlejuice 3 is in the works with Tim Burton directing.
I'm with it.
Hell yes. Let's get more of those going. And then we will be covering this in our next episode, but The Last of Us has already been confirmed for season 3. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Nice. So, my question, we're a couple episodes in now. We'll be covering all of them soon. After the game, do you think the second game is going to be just season 2, and then season 3 is all new territory?
I would imagine.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I'm actually excited for the rest of this season because I haven't completed the second game.
I remember you saying that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was planning on watching just the cutscenes in the film, and I looked it up on YouTube, and it's at least 4 hours long.
Jesus Christ.
I'm like, whoa, and then I was looking at other videos. People were recording the entire gameplay of the whole video game with cutscenes in it, and their video length was like 8 hours. So I was like, okay, won't be doing that, because that's literally
it's a whole Netflix series.
That's 2 films or a Netflix series. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just watch the episode and be surprised with the fans as well. So
okay.
And then last bit of news, Vision Quest has begun filming, and as we just said, James Spader, it was one of those voices. He will be returning as Ultron.
Nice.
Which I'm looking forward to that. I'm excited to see. We were talking about this before, that other villains have come back in the comics and stuff like that, so we're excited to see.
And he's one that's really easy. I wouldn't call it a cop-out, but like because he's a AI and he's like, this digital form of him, there's not really a way to really get rid of him. You know what I mean? Like he's always gonna have like a backup somewhere, and he's working somewhere. Kind of similar to like the Zola, Arnim Zola. And they brought him back in What If, and they put him in the Arrow, and then they shot the
That's
USB,
right. Yeah.
So like it's all possible. So But yeah.
Yeah, we're very excited to see what story they tell in Vision Quest for sure. But that is it for Nerd News. But make sure you like and subscribe and click that notification bell to keep up with the latest in Nerd News. That's this off.
Yeah, we got tired of throwing our stuff because we had to pick them up or we forget to pick them up.
Exactly. Kika, you wanted to try a new segment today.
I did.
And we are going to be naming that Don't React.
Yes.
So if you all can see this shot right here.
So the rules are,
yes,
if I make him laugh, even on the first joke, he drinks. And if I don't make him laugh with the jokes I'm about to break out, then I drink.
So we're going to be doing one, though, right?
Well, I have a couple jokes.
Oh, shit. So you're going to have to select one for the shot. We'll do the rest. You can follow up with the other two for just funsies, but that shot will be just for one of the jokes.
I mean, I only have 4.
Okay.
They're like,
I am not taking 4 shots right now.
No, 1 shot. If you laugh on the second shot, then you take the shot. If you laugh on the 4th one, like, it doesn't matter. You're only going to take 1 shot. You're not taking 4 shots.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I get you, cool,
Gotcha.
and then I'll keep telling the other jokes, then you can keep laughing.
Fair enough.
Then
All right,
you don't have
then.
to hold it back. But the joke is to make you, or the part is to make you react.
Got it.
And if you can stay stone cold on some of these things.
So, Nerd with the Laughs will try not to be here.
I guess,
I'm going to do my best, yeah. Alrighty.
Hold on. All right. So, we'll start a little lighthearted.
Okay.
Do you know what the hardest tea to swallow is?
No.
Reality.
Oh, that's actually clever.
Right?
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool, but I thought it'd get you to laugh or whatever.
No.
All right. What do you call a fish with no eyes?
Oh, psh. I heard that already. Yep.
Damn
Next.
Okay, maybe I got to step it up.
A little bit. Because so far you're taking that
All
shot.
right, let's get nasty.
Oh my God.
Do you know what crazy monkey sex is?
I don't think I want to, but go ahead.
Okay. So it's a frequent reaction women have, usually newlyweds, when women are taken to a tropical setting and commit unadulterated sexual acts on each other.
That was good because I couldn't follow it. So
Yeah, that was
yep.
not the best one.
That helped me actually more than
I
you.
might be taking this shot.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I should have saved the Chewbacca one.
That one would have got me.
That was
for
my
sure.
missed opportunity.
That was behind the scenes. You all didn't get to hear that one.
Do we want to tell them what that is?
No,
After
not on this one. No.
Oh, well, what's Forrest Gump's password?
I don't know.
1 Forrest 1.
Oh, that's good.
Motherfucker.
Yep.
He knows these things are coming.
Take the shot, sir, because that's
All
4.
right. I did Chewbacca.
No, you didn't do Chewbacca, but
Oh,
you
no,
did
wait,
the...
I did a crazy sex.
That's the 4th one.
It was the 4th one.
Shut
All right, cool.
it.
Maybe I didn't do it
I
on
can
purpose.
shut it down. There with the last clocked out, and he was not here today.
You got any funny ones?
Not
Just
off the
for
top
shits and giggles?
I don't think so. Mine I usually have to think about. Yeah, I don't have any ready to go.
Damn.
Nope. That was fun for me
Yeah.
because I got through without reacting.
All right, which one was like, oh, damn, I could have laughed at that.
The last one, I think the Run Forrest Run. If you had done it in his accent, I probably would have laughed.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta think about my delivery.
Especially with how bad you are with accents, that would have got me.
Okay.
Go back to our Wong impression clip. You'll understand that meaning.
Oh yeah. The other day we were doing I was still remote and I did a Vincent D'Onofrio one. I
Yeah.
didn't really try to. I listened back and I was like, oh, I kind of did sound like him, like the Mayor Fisk situation.
Oh, that one line that you gave. I thought you were talking about when you gave him an accent out of nowhere. That was on one of our latest episodes. I think it was on the finale one, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I thought you were talking about when you had said one word that sounded like the way he said it. Because the last time we were talking about, I don't know what accent you were bringing out on that one. I'm like, who was that? Because remember you gave Fisk a different accent.
Oh,
than
I think
his.
I remember what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'm talking about the other one where I did use his accent on accident. Yeah.
You unintentionally sounded like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first time you did it.
Yes, that's what I was talking about.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anything new? I mean, I haven't seen you. Well, I've seen you like digitally, but not or virtually, but not in person.
I lost a few pounds.
Good.
Getting in shape.
Nice.
People have noticed it on my route. One of the guys is like, "Hey, you losing weight?" I'm like, "I am. Thank you for noticing." Yep.
Matcha, clean you out, huh?
Matcha's doing. If you guys haven't tried matcha, get on that. It is very good for your health and is way better than coffee and stuff like that. So that, and then just started eating better, man.
It's a huge thing.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. I realized I was just eating and drinking unhealthy, so I had to make a change because I was feeling it in my body a lot, and I wanted to make a life change. Especially, I'm getting older. I want to be here for a while with my kids, so I had to make a life change.
What's up?
And I plan on sticking to it
Nice.
this time. Yep.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Gaining a lot of muscle.
Yes.
You see the smile on her face?
Oh yeah, I've been getting more back massages and everything. She's enjoying it for sure.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. What about you? Besides the knee, I know the knee's getting better.
So the
which I'm happy
surgery
about.
went good. I'm driving again. I'm still going through physical therapy. Just pushing through the emotions. But I mean, it is a big, huge lift being able to drive again, do things on my own, not relying on other people to move me around, or just honestly, maybe it's TMI, but just being able to take a shit without the right way.
It was a whole new procedure you had to follow.
It was
right?
a whole
Yeah.
scene, a whole swing.
Right way.
So I don't think I explained this to you, right?
Not her. It was
So
between
I have
us.
this like aluminum like foldable bar that's wrapped in Kevlar. The Kevlar, right? What it is?
Kevlar's I know it's the bulletproof vest is what they're made out of.
Right,
but
but like what the book bag straps are made out of. Isn't
Okay.
that's Kevlar too, isn't it?
The right
maybe.
way. I don't know why I imagine like why you're facing the wall sitting that way.
Wait, what?
I guess she's imagining your positioning of like having the shit. I don't know. I'm not in her.
Well,
head,
wait,
so.
it gets worse.
Yeah.
So it's like it has like a loop at the end, and there's handles, like 3 different handles, so that you can like keep your leg locked straight, and then it wraps around your ankle, and you can like lift your leg around. So you've been to my washroom in my house. So the right side is my right leg that I ruptured my patella on. So I can't. Because you have to men have to sit with their legs a little bit open for our junk to fit into the bowl.
Yes.
And I can't. I have to sit sideways. So this leg is normal, but this one I couldn't because I couldn't bend it. I'm like suspended weirdly. So I don't know what made me think to do this. I brought the band one day and I wrap it around my foot and I hook it onto the doorknob. So my leg is straight and suspended. So one leg is sitting up like this, and the other leg is sitting normal, just so I can shit normal. It was the most awkward shit ever, dude.
Which
literally,
no, hats off to you because you engineered there, figured out your surroundings. You're like, all right, the handle's there. Let me try something, and it worked in your favor.
Yeah.
So had your door not been there, and the toilet not been right next to it, I don't know how you would have.
If it was the other way around, as long as my leg can because I can't lay it out and basically do the splits on the toilet, you know what I mean? Yeah. So and in the office, the wall's on the left side and there's a lot of space, but then I have the whole handicap area.
Oh, okay.
So I have the space and I can sit normally. I'm just fucking spread eagle, But in my bathroom, because all the space is on the left side of the toilet, and the toilet is so close to the wall, it just wasn't. Okay, it was out of the cards for sure.
Yeah, I gotta imagine somebody out there is dying laughing right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be Regs and fucking Addy.
Probably. Sure. If you guys are, thank you so much for sticking around for this portion and not fast forwarding. We hope you enjoyed that.
But that's what's new with me. I can shit normally.
Nice.
I sleep normally.
It's the little steps, right? That we look forward to.
Right. Anything new you're watching or?
We just finished Reacher season 3.
Oh, nice,
which was great.
It looks good.
It was good. I guess it was on par with the other seasons, but this one did have a little bit more of a build between the beginning and mid-season. And it actually had a little surprise in there that we weren't expecting. But it was good. It wasn't bad. It was kind of on par with Reacher. What about you?
Let me see. We watched that. Me and Sandy were hooked on this show on Netflix. It's not Mole. That was a different one. Let me see. So basically, they have to. Maybe it is the Mole. So it's with fuck is his name?
Is it a reality show? Or
Yeah,
okay.
it's a reality show. It's
I
get hooked on these things, and once I start and they're good.
That's why what I was thinking, because you said that you love those reality shows that are like on the streaming services and stuff. So okay.
Yeah, so it has the guy with the little tiny lips, real deep ass accent. He challenges Vince Vaughn in to Guitar Hero in Couples Retreat. He's like their caretaker on the island.
I know who you're talking about.
He's the host.
He's the host of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like he's like, that deep, dark, mysterious voice or whatever.
Okay.
He's a great fucking host, dude. Great host.
He's a hilarious actor too.
Yes,
I'm
he is.
blanking on his name, but okay.
Me too. I can't find the
name of the show?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's super funny. So basically the idea is they have to. Somebody has like $1 million in their box, and they have to pretend to not be that guy. I think it's the Mole. I don't remember. I'll find it. But he every episode or every day there's a different task that they have to do as a group of everybody in the house, and then whoever has the money has to pretend to not be this person. And they get secret agendas. So if they complete agendas. Some of the funny ones were like, you have to get people to say Justin Timberlake's name. You got it?
Yeah, his name is John Michael Higgins. He was also in The Breakup. He was her brother.
Yeah,
the
he
singer.
was. Yeah.
That's what I looked at. All right.
Look at his most recent things, and maybe we can find his damn show.
I'll look at his movies and shows. Here he goes. Do you know how recent that was?
This year.
It
dropped this year. Oh, $1 Million Secret. That's what it's called.
Oh, okay.
$1 Million Secret. And so they have to like lie and manipulate their way through. One of my favorite characters. I won't say what her background is because it'll give it away.
Okay.
She doesn't win, but she was one of my favorite characters, Sam. She was legit. The person that won it, I didn't see it coming.
Nice.
I was like, wow, she won? That's crazy.
Okay.
Like, she made it through the end, and she kind of weaseled her way through some things. But it's a really cool show.
Interesting.
It's really funny, and like you can see like the tension build up as people start getting eliminated day by day, and like you have to guess who has the money, and if you're right, then that person goes home and you have the money or whatever, and the money kept moving around, and then or sometimes you would have these secret agendas where you have to do like you have to have somebody say Justin Timberlake's name without referencing his movies or lyrics or songs.
Damn, that's difficult.
Right. So that would be the easiest way to go, right?
Yeah.
But then her cop out, one of the girls' cop outs was that every time she brought up Jessica Biel, she was like, "Who's Jessica Biel married to?" And then
that's clever.
But you have to get like 3 people or like 4 people to do this, and those are your secret agendas, and then you would get a perk in the voting, so like you would be exempt from getting voted on, or you would get 2 extra votes for whoever you wanted to get rid of.
That sounds incredibly intricate,
dude. It was so deep.
Yeah.
I would kill it. There were some people like broke down in tears. I'm like, stop being a bitch. Like, you're there to win $1 million. I'd lie like a motherfucker. Man, I'd love to be on a show like that.
Wow. Well,
Sandy's like, she said that if they do, she's gonna keep a lookout. If they do
a season
2, and they're like doing for casting, I'd love to fucking do that. Hell yeah, dude.
Okay.
And you go away, and they have like they're at some like remote island, like super far, beautiful house, and you live there for like 3 weeks.
All right. Well, if you all are interested in that kind of show, check that one out.
Yeah. But other than that,
let's get into this
main
topic.
Other than that, I think I've just been working my ass off.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I've been working a lot.
Catching up, right? Yep.
Yeah.
All right, but let's get into this main topic, Sinners. As we said, this was a great film. We both thought so. Let's get our stone ratings going. You want to go first?
A 5.
All right,
right
same.
on the spot.
Nice.
I mean, I wouldn't say it was perfect. There's room for growth. But I mean, the only way this could have been a 6, and and not to knock Michael B, because he killed it as the twins. Seeing this movie, seeing Ryan Coogler do such a great movie. I know the Creed trilogy is really good. I just kind of miss Chadwick working with him, with Ryan, and I just feel like Chadwick, whether he was the main character, he didn't have to be Smoke. I think, not to take away from Michael B. Jordan, he could have still played that, but having Chadwick play a significant role in there, would have been awesome.
I guarantee, especially with Ryan and Chadwick's relationship, he would have been in the movie for sure. Yeah, they're very close. So the synopsis, really quick, is a Southern Gothic horror film set in 1932 Mississippi, following twin brothers Smoke and Stack as they return to their hometown after a stint in Chicago, where they've gotten involved with gangsters. They plan to open a juke joint, but their plans are disrupted by a supernatural threat and the lingering presence of Jim Crow racism. I enjoyed the time setting that he put this in.
Yeah.
It was a nice change of pace from, I guess, the norm of vampire movies that we've been getting. They're usually more on the modern side. So I did enjoy that aspect of it. And as you said, both, not both, but Michael B. Jordan playing both of those characters, he nailed it. I think he did a great job.
He was Smoke, and what's the brother's name?
Stack.
Smoke Stack. Oh, yeah. The Smoke Stack brothers. That's
yep. Right. And this, in a way, I think we touched on it before. I'm glad he didn't get the Blade role or the role to either write or direct or both that he was pitching.
Yeah.
Because then we got this film, and like I said, he knocked it out of the park with this.
100%.
I think it was really good.
So I'm trying to find what I'm talking about. Where the heck is it? So there was this image floating around about this movie being kind of its own cinematic universe.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out where the heck I put it. But before Sinners 2, if they do a trilogy on this, they're going to do some spin-offs. And they are like era-centric, if that makes sense. So like,
they'll be set in different eras?
Right.
Okay.
All the same universe, nonetheless. So I'm game for that. I think it sounds like a great idea. Maybe I saved it in Instagram. Hold on one second.
So I did enjoy the story, like I said, on it, but I like that it wasn't just your typical Vampire Slayer movie. It had a nice story set to it.
If honestly, it was a decade piece talking about what they've gone through at that time, with vampires included. It didn't feel like the first half of the movie a vampire movie at all. You know what I mean? It wasn't, vampires weren't shoved down your throat.
Yeah,
which is what I like.
And I don't think Ryan Coogler is my favorite writer / director right now. He's killing it. You know, right behind him. I know he's not a writer, but he directed Dark Knight. I'm blanking on the name right now.
Michael Bay?
Bruh.
No, Dark Knight, the Batman Dark Knight. He just did Oppenheimer. Regs is screaming at his phone right now because it's his favorite director, or one of his.
Oh shit, not Michael Bay. Yeah, I don't know why I said Michael Bay. Christopher Nolan.
Thank you, Christopher Nolan.
Yeah,
he's right behind him, but I don't know if he writes, so he mainly directs. Yeah. So that's why I said writer / director with Ryan Coogler, but he knows how to tell a story, and I usually hate when movies have the ending at the beginning of the movie, but the way he did it was so clever, and when you get those flash scenes of vampires attacking, that was really well done. It had me like anticipated for what was gonna happen later on.
Yeah,
and like I said, I usually dislike that when they give us the end at the beginning of the movie. I guess it's the way it was done before, but the way he did it, I really enjoyed.
Yeah, because it didn't give you too much at all. Like it was,
there were literally about 1 second flashes. Boom.
I was gonna say I wouldn't even call it bite size. It was just like
pun intended.
No, but I mean that worked out.
Okay,
but I agree. I can't take anything away. Like I really wanted to try to give this a 6. But because it's a new concept, but I really can't find flaws out of it. You know, not much at all. Like, I don't know. It was a very sexual movie for sure.
Yeah, that I didn't expect.
I didn't see that coming at all. different version of Haley Stanfield that I've never seen.
Yeah.
I've never seen before.
I was enjoying it.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you were. I was like, oh my God.
I was like
losing it right now.
Not only the way she was talking, but the accent on top of it. I was like, yep, I like it a lot.
Yeah, I'm not finding this fucking image about.
The wife was too, weren't you, babe?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know she was part black, to be honest, and that's news to me too. So she's
her
mixed.
character or her in real life?
In real life.
Oh, I did not know this.
She's mixed.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, huh.
So maybe they pulled from her real life and wrote that into the script. Because her character in the movie, what was it? Her grandfather was
part black.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, her one-liner that her line that she gave when we first were introduced to her at the train station, I was like, oh, okay, girl, damn.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's hard to see sometimes, especially being a father, see like these young stars grow up and then mature into these roles. And I try not to judge them too much, but it is like a.
Yeah, because
I remember you being a teenager.
You almost forget that they're real people.
Yeah,
because
they grow up. Yeah,
they're acting, and you're used to seeing them act the same way.
I think the only person that's never successfully, and it's not an actor. I appreciate her music. I think she's a solid actor. I just haven't ever seen her. You know what? Never mind. I'm not even gonna.
All right, yeah.
I'm just gonna leave it alone.
Let's go past that one.
Yes.
So another thing I enjoyed was the scene where they're dancing and it's showing the past generations
and the present
and the future
simultaneously.
Oh
yeah, and it's everybody's
so well done.
Yeah, it gave me vibes to like, what's that movie? The Great Gatsby. When they're partying downtown. Have you seen the movie?
I have not seen with Leo and Tobey Maguire. I haven't seen that one.
Really good. Okay. It's a long movie, but it's good. Okay. It's a hopeless romantic movie for sure. I mean, the book, The Great Gatsby, is a hopeless romantic movie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, book, but I think they gave some like there's some like Jay-Z songs in there, Beyonce songs in there that obviously weren't of that time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it's back in the Roaring 50s, I think, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Roaring 60s. They're in like corsets and.
I thought Roaring 20s was the phrase.
Is that maybe you're right? Maybe
yeah.
No, maybe not 20s because they had cars. It's probably set similar to this time too. I don't remember when the Great Gatsby was set.
The 20s had cars. They were like very similar to the cars in this movie, Sinners. It was like when they were first.
What's the time period in this? Oh, 32.
32.
Oh yeah, so it's probably about that. Roaring 20s, in the 30s, things like that.
Okay.
But yeah, it gave me that like party vibe that this hip hop version that they gave them. It was cool seeing the b-boys. It was cool seeing like the 90 era people on the DJing there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that whole scene was pretty dope. And it was dope to see him like. How do I explain it? Like, it was dope for them to paint this like image or like this, maybe not image, but like just the feeling of the room and when they were all dancing with their future and past selves. And all their ancestors, and then the future of them,
mm-hmm.
like just to see how music ties that all together.
Yeah,
it almost as if like the music was so good. I think that's why the vampire wanted him. Like it people say like certain frequencies like kind of help you balance your spirituality and stuff like that. And I think that's what it was. It was like a rift in time of balance of.
Yeah, they were talking about that in the beginning with the lore of. Different cultures, and they say like the music part of it would bring people together and help with certain aspects of culture and stuff like that. So they would
allow certain people to pass to the underworld or to heaven.
Underworld, hopefully not. You
mean but also I meant to pass to the afterlife.
Oh, okay.
But then in return, there was like that where people learn to bring people back from.
Oh, I get what you're saying now. Yeah,
but so the doors open both ways essentially.
Yeah, and I think. Them playing or trying to really emphasize that aspect and then just to give it to us visually was really well done. And and we didn't just get the African American culture, we got the Asian culture as well because one of the families is Asian American.
Yeah.
So
well, you know why they tied on that, like they brought in the two, like they weren't just some random Asians there,
right? Because
at this point Jim Crow law and all of like the slaves are technically free-ish, like there's a lot of discrimination and things like that, but like even the train, what's the name of the train that they showed?
I don't remember.
It was a specific train line that back in the day that employed African Americans.
Oh, okay.
To be able to work. And yeah, they still didn't get paid a fair wage or
Mm-hmm.
anything, but it was at least a company that hired African Americans, and
Okay.
that wasn't. They were giving tribute to that, and then
Well, I do know that the Asian culture was also like part of that slavery in America to build the railroads and stuff like that. So I thought maybe they were touching on that as well.
Yes,
That's
but-
why the Asian family was there.
correct,
Mm-hmm.
but they weren't necessarily slaves. They were associated with cheap labor.
Oh,
They
yeah.
didn't- So
It's a
they
type of slavery, but yeah.
Yes. So Asians were brought to America to work the cotton fields because they no longer could have the free labor from African Americans.
Oh,
So they brought them out. But then even them, they restricted. They were like, no, this is ridiculous. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you're not paying me enough to do the amount of work that you needed me to do. So often, a lot of Asians, and that's why even now, like, their closed community, like here in Chinatown, Chicago, like, a lot of them are business owners because that was what they did back in the day. They became like, they would have pharmacies or they would have grocery stores or like, tool shops and things like that.
Okay.
And back in the day, that time too, the Asian cultures were big and just like, well, we're here for the land of opportunity, and they like multiple families would pull together and
Yeah.
then they'd open up a
That's
restaurant
interesting. I didn't know that.
or things like that together.
nice.
So like, it's pretty accurate. It
Yeah.
was very on scene that was the case back in the day, that Asians would open up a grocery store but they would serve both the white and the black community.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. Well, we know Ryan Coogler's very good on like accurate depictions of certain cultures
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. So that's pretty on par for him.
Yeah, agreed.
But that was very interesting. I didn't know that aspect of that. So that's cool.
I mean, not to make. I'm not trying to like nerve with the knowledge. That's not. I know that's my tagline or whatever, but stuff about history like that really fascinates me. And
Yeah.
that stuff kind of like just I gravitate to. Like even though Hitler was a knucklehead, an idiot. World War II is probably my favorite point in history to cover. Just like
really? Okay.
the stuff that happened and what we overcame. That tyrant. You know what I mean? Was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So shit like this really sticks out and is engraved in my mind for the rest of my
Yeah,
life.
no, that's cool. You're
So-
into history. That's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. What was something else that you really liked in the film that comes to mind?
See, Asian culture.
Because I think the antagonist, the actor playing the antagonist, the main vampire, I thought he did a really good job.
Oh yeah. So the Irish roots were pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And you his name is Jack O'Connell.
Okay.
So he was Irish. And his name is Remick.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was pretty cool. You had mentioned earlier that why are all vampires, and then this is where I'm getting to, like, why are all vampires very polite? Like, it's such great manners.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was saying it's just like they've lived so long, and I think for the most part they come from a point in time where manners were just like engraved into you from a young child.
That was just the funniest thing I realized is that they're one of the most gruesome monsters, but they're very well mannered and like they can't come in without your permission. That was
without
just a
being
funny
invited.
aspect of a vampire. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
Uh-huh.
But I like that they, like I had mentioned this earlier, that they didn't shove vampires down your throat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But there are some similarities between the first Blade movie with Wesley Snipes and this. This guy's basically Frost.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And these, Smoke is this unsung hero that wasn't trying to be a hero and just kind of got imbued into this, situation.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of parallels to the first Blade movie and then this Sinners movie. And that was one of the things I liked. And if you didn't watch it as many times as I did, then you might have not seen it. Like the casual watchers that saw Blade once.
Yeah.
Probably didn't see the connection. But me as a nerd, I was like, there's a lot of similarities. I see why this was the original pitch for the first Blade movie. And shame on you, Kevin, for not taking them. But I actually thank you at the same time because I still can't find this that image I was talking about. But it shows Sinners that released recently, and then Sinners 2 like 4 years from now. And there's like I want to say 4 movies in between there, where they're spin-offs and they're decade pieces. And it's like Sinner this and Sinner that or whatever.
And this was just a fan made thing that you seen, or
but it was actually. I'm gonna try to find it.
all right. Well, while you look at that, I did want to shout out the new actor Miles Caton, who played the
Bobby.
Was that his name, Bobby? The cousin, right? That singer,
Yeah, cousin
the singer?
Bobby. You know, I thought that's what his name is.
I can't remember his name. Well, the IMDb, you think you might have that, right?
Oh, Sammy. Sorry,
Sammy. Okay.
Sammy. Miles Catton. Yeah, he's on her
Her album?
no,
The
like
singer?
part of her band.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was the one who encouraged him to do it.
Nice. Well,
take this role.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's the new actor. This is his debut film, and he did a phenomenal job. He has a beautiful voice.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. Well, I didn't know that he was on her band, so that's pretty cool. But
Yeah, and she had. Oh, I found it.
His voice shocked the hell out of me. I
Yeah.
didn't expect it to be that deep.
yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah, especially he's smaller in stature and skinnier, so you wouldn't think that voice would come out of a body like that. But yeah, he did a really good job. I feel like in this film too. His acting was pretty well.
So
well
over
done.
the next 4 years, there is actually the idea is to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 movies in this whole cinematic universe.
Oh, okay.
So I'll share this. I'm gonna text you this image right now,
Okay.
and then that way you can put it up.
Mm-hmm.
But it's Sinners, Field of Sinners, Tears of Sinners, Limerick of Sinners, 90s of Sinners, Glitter Sinners. I hope that's a jab at fucking
I just remember
Edward
Breaking
Cullen.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Yeah. What the hell's the name? I just remember Breaking Dawn is one of them.
One of the movies, yeah. Twilight.
There it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Sinners 2 in 2029.
That was one thing that bothered me so much about that trilogy.
Yeah.
That the vampires sparkled.
Yeah, it was that's
What
strange.
the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, I
hate
can't.
Twilight.
So yeah, sunlight kills them, but this writer decided to make them sparkle and shine. It ruined it for me. I was like, all right, I'm out.
I agree. I didn't care for it at all.
Yeah.
All
right, that's interesting. I didn't know that they're planning on doing a cinematic universe.
Yeah,
That's cool.
WB. I don't know. So in the image is Ryan Coogler in the image. I didn't read the article, but I just sent it to you too, Christina.
All right. I did like the action in it, and then I enjoyed the funny like comic relief parts.
Oh yeah.
One of the parts is like, "Do y'all smell that?" I think I just shat myself. That was fucking hilarious.
Yeah. What the hell's his name? He's a well-known actor been around for years.
Yeah, you could probably find it easily.
Delroy Lindo.
Okay.
He plays Delton Slim.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's hilarious, dude.
Mm-hmm. He was a really good.
And then Omar
character.
Benson Miller. He plays Cornbread.
Mm-hmm.
What a name, Cornbread.
Yeah. That was another aspect I like, that they gave us a good amount of comic relief parts without being too much to make it a like slash comedy.
Yeah.
So it was just well done in that aspect also.
No, I agree.
It was a very heartbreaking story about them losing the baby, and then we see that at the end, and oh man, that got me. That was
As soon as he ripped off his necklace, I'm like, he's gonna die. I
thought so?
caught that immediately.
Okay.
Yeah, he was. I feel like he was ready to die because at this point he lost his brother. His baby was dead, and the only woman he actually loved was dead.
Yeah, the mother of his child died. Yeah. And he actually had to kill her because she was bitten.
What I didn't see is that the mid-credit scene.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see that coming at all. But we'll get to that later. Before we get there.
We'll talk a little bit about that further down. What else about the film did you like? I did enjoy that scene where he sets up waiting for the man that owned
clan?
the clan that sold him.
Yeah, the Ku Klux Klan.
He went at these guys, and I was like, yes. When it's in the trailer, but when he's shooting that the Tommy gun, and you see that man's tree trunks, he's got right here, just
Michael B.
I felt like Deadpool because I was soaking wet right now. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude,
Michael B. is a good looking man.
He is a very good looking man.
Yeah,
but both of us were like, dude. I'm like, I gotta get like you, my man, because jeez.
You were like that guy. Have you seen that video where the guy's like, they were helping scenario play and training for firefighters,
Okay.
And then
that's one of your favorite videos.
Yeah.
Where the fireman comes and picks him up.
he's like, no wonder why you women love strong men. He's like, he picked me up, and I was like, whoo.
Yeah.
That was you watching Michael B.
Pretty much. I was like, dude.
he was, and like he was flexing, obviously. You know what I
You
mean?
have to hold that gun and then
gun?
shoot, and the recoil on that. Yeah,
and
of course
Tommy
they're
gun,
gonna be flexing.
I love the fact that he was, he worked for Al Capone. That was a cool shout out to Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Because
and then that plays with the story of them being set in Mississippi. That back then, it's easier to get to, relatively, with the type of vehicles that they have within reasonable time.
yeah,
So and then makes sense that that's where they went to, because that's the closest big city from Mississippi at that time. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought them coming back as like well-suited gangster types.
Yeah.
That was a nice touch too.
yeah. I mean, the costumes were perfect. Just the era specific ambiance of the whole set looked great. It looked dope.
I agree.
They had the accent, but it still gave us this like an urban feel to it, like a more hip version of it, and I loved it a lot. You know what I mean? For sure. I think I had something else that I wanted to. Oh, I liked a lot of the symbolisms. So, what's the Asian lady's name?
The character or the actress?
Both.
Okay.
Grace Chow.
Yeah, yeah. Grace Chow is the character, but Lee, the lady that plays her, she wore the red like bandana, similar to that We Can Do It poster.
Yes, I actually pointed that out to her when we were watching it, and she's like, "Yeah, I clocked that too. That was a nice touch too." Yeah,
Yeah. There's a lot of cool things like that, like decade pieces. The train company I was telling you about. And then her wearing the bandana, kind of like woman power. Her actively being allowed to be part owner, and that was pretty cool in the Asian culture that they were focused on that. Versus like at that time period, women didn't really own much. You know what I mean? And so so that was pretty cool. Every time you saw the vultures circling, you knew something bad was about to happen. That happened over the first house that he kind of lands at, where it's like almost daylight already, and he's like burning up.
Yeah.
And cool story, that Native American tribe that shows up.
Yes.
I can't think of the damn name of it. That's the same tribe that Echo is of.
Oh, really? Nice.
So it's a real tribe.
Yeah.
It wasn't made up, and neither is obviously Echo's tribe.
That's why I wonder if he pulled that because he was involved in the Marvel production. And
what's Shuri's AI called?
The name, the actual name?
Yeah.
I just remember the actor. I found out who the actor that plays him. I thought that was pretty cool. It's the guy who's on the Daily Show, the comedian. You're looking up the name of?
Yeah. Griot?
There it goes. Yeah.
So griot is a West African term for historian and storyteller.
Oh, nice.
And they use that in the beginning of the movie because of this movie when they're explaining like how they would tell storytellers.
Yeah.
So that's what they're called, griots, like those storytellers of like these folk legends and stuff like that, with the vampires and stuff like that. So it was a real term that he used, and he ended up naming the AI that. But they also use this in the movie, so that was also a little shout out to her AI.
When you say he named the AI, what do you mean? Are you talking about Feige or
Ryan
Coogler? Oh, right, because he did
Wakanda Forever.
Okay, nice.
Yeah,
All right, I get what you're saying now. Okay, nice.
Yeah, there was a lot of little things that plugged into other movies or real things that happened in time.
Yeah.
And it was subtle. Like all these Easter eggs were really subtle. It wasn't like it wasn't us being Leonardo DiCaprio like.
Yeah.
It wasn't nothing like that. It wasn't super obvious, but there were subtle things, and it was appreciated. It didn't feel like a bunch of Easter eggs just thrown at you.
For sure.
Yeah, it was. I liked it. I like you said, this guy hasn't missed. And the Creed movies were all great.
Yes.
The two Wakanda films are fantastic. This movie's freaking awesome. I'm excited for a cinematic universe, and I'm okay with him pulling away from Marvel for a little bit. Doing the third Black Panther movie. At some point, whenever that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let him cook. Basically.
Yeah, seriously.
Let
And
the
then
man cook.
I like that he found Michael B. Jordan. They work well together, and I think that's why they've been partners for so many different films.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. Like,
Yeah. Michael B. Jordan's
having
been
them.
killing it with films.
Yeah.
His film selections have been great. So what? Black Panther. He was in Justice League Paradox. He was the voice for
Cyborg.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the Flashpoint Paradox is what I meant to say. What else has he done? I mean, obviously the Creed movies.
There was also rumors that he might be in
Endgame.
Doomsday.
Oh yeah, that's right, Doomsday.
Yeah, as his Johnny Storm.
Yeah, I think I shared the video where he's like, "Yeah, I'm filming in London right now." Da 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 da.
Oh, I saw the article. I didn't see the video about that, but he had let it slip in an interview that he's filming in London, and everybody knows that Doomsday has already begun filming in London right now. So
yeah,
that's where that, I guess, rumor started from.
I was gonna say, when were you first introduced to Michael B. Jordan?
Oh man, it's hard to say. I just remember him. He also did that Rainbow, a Tom Clancy.
That was pretty good too. But
It was a film. That was a film. It was supposed to set up Rainbow Six, but I can't remember the first project I remember him in. I just know that I've been following him for a while now.
So I've been following him since
that movie that you really like,
The
right?
Awkward Moment.
There it goes, Awkward
Yes,
Moment.
it's one of my favorite movies of all time.
I think I followed him before that.
Okay.
Or do you have his IMDb
I'm
pulled up?
pulling it up right now.
Okay. Because I'm pretty sure I recognized him in either a film or a TV show before that. Yeah, because I knew who he was in that movie, once that movie came out.
Yeah. Damn, so he's been in 63 movies?
He's been acting for a while. While you're looking that up...
he is going to be John Clark in the Rainbow Six.
Oh, so they're still doing
It's still
that?
in development. It's not done yet.
Oh, nice.
But Creed
okay.
4 is going to happen, too. It's in production.
Nice.
I Am Legend 2, I know that's coming up, too. They're working on that.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
He's
He's playing his son.
Yeah.
Grown up, obviously, but yeah. Okay.
What's that lawyer? Oh, Just Mercy. That lawyer movie. Have you seen it with him in it?
I don't think I've...
Fantastic.
That's... I know of that film, but I didn't see it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Fahrenheit
He was
451.
in I Am Legend?
He's going to be in the new I Am Legend.
Yeah.
Oh, it says here the 2007 I Am Legend.
What is he?
Michael B. Jordan?
It says here. I don't know. I haven't seen that movie, so I don't know.
I just remember Will Smith being...
Bro, I did not know he
Wait,
voiced...
He was in Hardball?
Yeah.
Was he one of the kids?
I believe so, yeah.
So then that's the first time I see
me
Michael B. Jordan.
too, now that
Yeah.
I think about that.
Most likely it's Hardball.
He was the voice of Jace in Gears of War 3. You ever played a video game?
Not Gears of War 3.
Oh, I
no.
love Gears of War. Such a...
Nice.
He was in Law and Order, Bones. CSI. Oh, that's where I know him from. He had dreads when he was in All My Children. And I used to watch it with my mom.
Oh, okay. Didn't watch that soap opera.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, he was Jamal
Oh, okay. Then.
in Hardball.
Oh, nice. All right.
Yep.
That might be the first time I've seen him.
That's his fourth thing doing. So he did Sesame Street,
Oh,
Sopranos,
nice.
The Cosby TV show, Black and White. I don't know what that is. And then Hardball. That's his fifth thing he has ever done.
Okay.
He was in The Wire as Wallace.
Didn't watch that show.
Me neither.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, Michael B's been around for a long time, and I don't think he's going anywhere. He's going to go down as one of our
I said it to
generational actors.
I said it to somebody at my job. I feel like he's this generation's Denzel Washington.
Wow, that's huge. I mean, I'm not saying no.
He has range. This guy can play multiple characters in different
Yeah,
settings.
because he plays, and he doesn't play them the same. He's not like Channing Tatum, where he does the same.
Diesel.
Right, Vin Diesel.
There's the same type of character. That's what I meant by this guy has range.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I don't. That was the best comparison I could think of. And when I said that, they agreed. So I'm like, I feel like that's a pretty
big shoes.
It
to
is,
fill.
but Chadwick, rest in peace. But he would have been that
Agreed.
had he even like shouted out Denzel because Denzel
Paid for
had
him to go to school.
had that funding program that
Yeah.
paved the way for him. So, but yeah, I think like for this generation, that's the closest comparison I could say.
I see it.
Yeah,
nice.
I wasn't thinking it, but I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Those are big shoes to fill. But I think he's gonna be up there, well known. Yeah, for sure.
We had talked about it a little bit before, but this movie was a lot more sexual than we were anticipating. Yeah. I think that anybody was.
Yeah,
It's a vampire movie.
That's true.
That's true. They are very
true.
sexual creatures. We know this. And it makes sense because they've been around for hundreds of thousands of years. They get bored.
So they're very polite, very sexual. So, but they just don't understand that no means no. Don't kill me. Like what the?
I mean, they gotta eat. You know what I mean? There was one scene where.
Well, wait. Don't kill me doesn't really, because towards the end, who survived? Because one of the twins told. Wait, I get mixed up. Well, who dies?
Stack dies.
Stack dies. Well,
turns into a vampire.
Yeah, he gets bit.
And he was told not to get Preacher Boy.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh.
I guess you're talking about in the general sense of
in the
other
general
vampires.
sense, yes. In this movie, then no. Yeah.
Yeah, but she's right. She got you on that one.
Yeah.
No, well,
he knew.
In Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh, dude, I haven't watched those.
We recently started watching that. A while ago, we stopped watching it for whatever. We just had other shows, but that was an interesting rewatch. But yeah, what I was talking about was the first kind of like sexual scene we got was Stack describing how to orally please a woman, and we're not talking about conversationally.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
right.
and I was like, oh, okay, we're that kind of movie. I'm like, all right. It was surprising, and then it just went from there.
I just like that it called it a button.
Yeah, it's pretty apt.
Yeah.
Pretty dead on too. That was good. And then Stack went in not the worst way to go, turning into a vampire. It was in the middle of sex.
Yeah.
If a man is gonna go and be turned into a vampire, that's most likely the way he'd want to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, with Halion. Yeah.
Well, I mean, aside from Halion's side, that was probably an added bonus. But I'm saying, just in that act, that's
I
probably
don't think
the
I want to
way.
become a vampire by getting my blood sucked by another male vampire. I'd rather a female take me out.
True, and that's why I mean most. Well, I should have said straight males, but yeah, they would want to go in the middle of that act. You know what I mean, rather than just your typical bite.
But he didn't even get to finish, man. Nah.
We don't know that. She barely let him finish and then ate. You know what I mean?
That's true. There was some time that passed where we didn't know because the door was locked.
Mm-hmm.
That was funny though that Sammy did walk in on them.
Yeah, he's and then closed the door and left, and then he's like, no, he went to Smoke to go tell him, like, he goes, did you go get him? No, I can't right now.
Yeah, that was funny.
Like I said, there was a lot of good comic reliefs that were, just for joke's sake, that were just funny lines that would be in that situation. You know what I mean? So I thought it was really well done.
So if you could insert Chadwick at any point in here, who would you make him?
I was gonna say the harmonica player.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think Chadwick should.
Nice, because I think he could have played, like, obviously he wouldn't have been that age, but they could have just changed the age of that character.
Yeah,
but I think he could have played that part very well.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
but I would love to have seen Chadwick and Michael be like counterparts again from each other, not in a bad way. You know what I mean?
Oh, right, because in Black Panther they were enemies. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
But like
on the same side.
On the same side, yeah,
for sure, absolutely.
Yeah, and then do you like that? What's his name? Remick was this Asian or not Asian, Irish guy. Like, do you like that?
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with it. It made sense for the story where of how he thought to like get everybody together, and it played to the character story. So yeah, really well. So yeah, I didn't mind it.
Yeah, I just thought there was some irony because he's probably lived so long, right? We have no idea how old this guy is, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't think he's seen all those black folks as black folks. He just saw them as humans, and I think that was a cool thing that they did, because they could have very easily just made this another vampire that could have been African American also.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, the first resentment, the reason why they never were let in, because they weren't they didn't fit in that scene at all. And even though Haley was in there, she's technically part black in the movie and in real life too. But I thought it was pretty cool. Then that's where that parallel from Blade with Deacon Frost and Blade. It was kind of cool. It was cool to see it. They were polar opposites of lifestyles. But I like the singing. I thought the guy sung pretty cool.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't their type of music, but even you said that they sang well together.
Yeah.
in that type of song or in that genre of music. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I agree that their singing was well done.
It was hilarious. They were like, "All right, let me hear what you got," and they started playing that music. They were like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
At first they're like, "Huh," and then who started dancing? It was like, "Oh, I kind of like it."
Wasn't it Cornbread?
Was it Cornbread?
I thought so. Wait,
I thought it was.
I know I may be wrong because it was somebody inside that was.
Yeah.
Was it Sammy?
No.
I can't remember who it was, but yeah, I get what you're saying. But I do get what you mean, that it could have been just very generalized or very typical to have that white guy be a racist white guy vampire. But
right.
It was very smart in Ryan Coogler to change the narrative and have it be an ally basically of the African American culture, and he just wanted food. Yeah. Is the only reason that he went after that party.
Right.
And the music element also played into that because he heard Sammy singing.
Right.
And that was his main goal.
Yeah. And he didn't avoid it, because had he avoided the clan all in general and the whole end scene and the person who sold the land to them, had he avoided altogether, I think people would have been upset about it, and I would have agreed.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he touched on it, but it wasn't the focus of it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And it was. Like I said, everything was just so subtly balanced. There was a lot of balance to the movie. Mm-hmm. Nothing felt shoved down your throat or overwhelming. All right, I get it, bro. It was such a well written, well balanced, and directed movie.
Yeah, and those are some of the reasons why he is my favorite writer/director right now.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yep. So let's talk about that mid-credit scene.
Yeah.
Didn't see it coming, like you said. It's set in the 90s and
1992.
1992, and we see Sammy as an elder man now, still playing he's playing an electric guitar now. Mm-hmm. And I had heard, this isn't a valid source, but I heard that was actually the actor playing him. It was based off of him, and that in his past he had dealings with demons or something like that, and then that's why that particular person was in the film.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not, but that's just something I heard.
I mean, in the entertainment industry, there's a lot of that. A lot of rumors of the Illuminati, devil worshipping, selling your soul. It's kind of crazy that we're talking about this. I started following this girl on TikTok, and she does this spooky story stuff. Mm-hmm. So she talks about this one person that went to the Grammys, and they tried to make him. He was a gay man in L.A. and he needed friends, so he met this person at a bar. They're like, "Hey, come to this bar. Let's go hang out over here." And this person was like, "Yeah, I need friends." And then he's like, "Hey, I can have you as a sit-in at the Grammys." So what sit-ins are people that when people get called to stage, to not have the room empty, there's people waiting in the back of the I don't know, the stadium or whatever, that go and sit down to keep the chairs full. So once Beyonce and her whole entourage gets up and goes, then they don't come back and sit down typically. Right. They'll stay in the back and things like that and party and stuff like that. So that's what sit-ins are called. He's like, "I can get you in." Yeah. So and then some shady stuff happen, and I can make you really wealthy. I have pull in the industry, and but you would just have to devote yourself to the devil. And so they went to this after party, and they're like, "Oh, you got to piss on the cross." And he's like, "Are you serious?" And yeah. He's like, "It's not real though. Don't worry about it. Just do it, because we just do it because it's funny." And he's like, "No." And so stuff like that, and so she covers a lot of these crazy things.
Oh wow.
This one time vortex one, that one's pretty crazy. But more and more TikTok is starting to reveal these some could be fake. And she even said, she's like, I don't know how serious any of this is. Mm-hmm. But now certain people are like, oh, I was at that party.
I saw Hollywood stories that are a little sus sometimes. Or,
like with all this, like the Epstein Island, all the Diddy shit happening, like all this stuff is a lot of light is being shined on how crazy the world is. And vampires are a reoccurrence. Like there's this guy that's like, he's been around in multiple pictures. Like, my grandfather knew this guy. And when I showed my grandfather that this is the guy that was trying to help me get into the music industry, he's like, no, get away from that guy. I met him at your age, and he hasn't aged a bit. That guy is not. Like, just like crazy shit like that, dude.
Yeah.
Well, didn't, like, Megan Fox and the guy that she's with, they used to drink each other's blood?
Yeah.
The guy she's currently with?
They have, like, a crystal or a vial. Similar to like Billy Bob Thornton and Angelina Jolie when they were dating, they used to have a necklace with a vial of each other's blood in it.
Oh, okay.
It was like put inside of a little.
That was also in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Rosa's character and Pimento. Rosa had a vial of his blood, and then he just had a Ziploc baggie of her blood. But then when they broke up, they gave each other their blood back, and that's when she was surprised. Like, when did you take this?
How did it last in a Ziploc bag? Like, exactly. What the fuck? But like stuff like that. Like the vampires are, even in the Blade movies, like they're wealthy. They have multiple shell companies. Yeah, and they live forever. And
well, there's also a culture out there that believe that they're vampires and they dress like your stereotypical vampire, and they actually drink other people's blood, but they don't obviously turn them into vampires, right. But it's that culture of where they actually believe it, and they
well, I mean, there's certain cultures that they do drink each other's blood because it keeps you keeps your youth apparently.
Oh, okay.
Is it a culture or a cult?
Both,
probably both. Yeah,
probably two separations of it. There's one that's a culture, one that's a cult, and one that's a little bit of both. Okay, I would imagine there's plenty of that out there.
So back to the mid-credit scene, but I brought that up just because that was a rumor I heard. But they Stack and Haley Steinfeld's character walk in.
Maria or Mary?
I don't remember her character.
I think it's Mary.
Okay, they walk in and then they talk to him, and he's surprised to see them still alive, and it's revealed that Smoke never killed him, but he told them in exchange for not killing you, you can't turn Sammy.
Yeah.
And then they paid $200 just to get in the door, but they wanted to hear him sing because he hadn't heard song or like, was it song or something that well sung since he was young. So then like they only heard it on, I think, vinyl. Like right. Exactly. But, so they have him sing, and then he sings and lets them know. He goes, what doesn't he even tell you? He goes, I can keep you, I could turn you, and you'll be this age forever. And he declines it. And he also says that night wakes him, or that event that happened wakes him up sometimes every night, but he wouldn't change it or something like that.
Yeah.
And then he goes, is that the same for you guys? And then Michael B. Jordan kind of had like a line. I forget what the line was.
Yeah.
And then they walk off. And then we thought that was it. We didn't bother to research to see if there was another post-credit scene.
Yeah.
And then we left. And then...
Well, he also, Michael B. or Stack, he's like, you don't have much longer. They paid him a visit because they know he's about to die soon.
Because he leans in and smells them. Right. And he's like, you don't have much longer left. I thought that was a cool thing to do in that scene. I forgot about that, but yeah, that was really cool. That was well done.
So it was them essentially showing mercy. So the only reason I think they showed up because they're like, hey, well, I was told to leave you, but at your own will, if you want to,
I
can save you.
So you think
that's still his little cousin?
True. Yeah. So do you think that they knew he was already going to be dying soon?
Yeah. I think that's why they paid the visit.
Fair
and also
point.
Missed him and wanted to see them, hear
That's
the music.
That's a good point.
And stuff like
yeah, because they would have. They found out where he was, so.
Well,
reason says that
that he's been following Sammy for years.
That's right.
So he knows all of it. So if anything, he maybe might have that we don't know of, and maybe one of the other movies can be like they can have Sammy as a young character. Mm-hmm. One of those decade piece movies that I was talking about.
Yeah.
And like in the background. Fucking, Stack is protecting him, and we don't even know. He doesn't know it.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I But yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool.
I agree. Any other last points on the film?
Um,
I'll give you one.
yeah,
How
what
did
you
you
got?
feel about when that what is it, the Irish guy, the vampire? What's his name?
Remick is
Mm-hmm.
okay.
How did you feel about like every other vampire that he turned is like feels what he's feeling?
Oh, that hive mind
Yeah.
aspect.
How did you feel about that?
I thought that was interesting because we hadn't seen that before.
Yeah.
In the vampire lore, so I thought that was a nice new take on it.
But they did all share each other's memories,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
known. So like in the Underworld series with Kate Beckinsale.
Oh yeah,
If you drink the blood, or like when Victor drink her blood, he got all the knowledge of everything, all the corrupt shit that had been.
yeah,
happening.
I remember that.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So that's kind of
they even gave us like quick
Common knowledge?
flashbacks in that movie, right?
Right.
When that happened. Yeah, okay.
that's legit. But the hive mind, usually you have to drink their blood, and then you know what that person's feeling or their memories of the person's blood you drink.
Mm-hmm.
Not that they all just automatically share it like this like cloud essentially.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not against it. It worked cool, you know. It's new, it's different.
Yeah,
There could be flaws, you know, if they don't, you know, put it together the right way. And
yeah.
but
What about
I
you?
don't mind it.
What did you think about it?
Like I've heard about the whole memory thing
Mm-hmm.
in other shows that I've watched, so that wasn't new for me. But the whole like I feel what you're feeling kind of thing, I was like,
You weren't feeling that part. All right, fair enough.
I think the reason it worked because of how sexual the film was and how sexual vampires are known to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why, because you would know exactly how to please your partner if you're both vampires, because you can feel each other. You would know,
In every aspect. Yeah, I get what
Yeah.
you're saying. Yeah,
and they're known
orgasms would be, woof.
yeah,
through the roof.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I agree.
Yes.
Yeah, very
Bro,
intense.
The next like string of like Blue Chew pills should be called like vampire pills or something. You know what I mean?
The Sinners edition.
Yeah, right.
Nice.
Yeah, Blue Chew. If you want to sponsor us,
Yeah, right.
Let us know.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, as we said, we thought it was a great film. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. Even if you didn't like it, let us know why. Up next, we have The Last of Us coming up. As you
Yep.
said before, we're going to be covering those episodes soon. So if you guys are a fan of that show, stick around for us. We're going to be covering that.
You're gonna be covering Andor.
After Last of Us, once that wraps, that'll be the next project we cover, Andor. So if you guys haven't seen...
not necessarily true, because in between there we're gonna sprinkle in Thunderbolts, which is coming out in.
Oh, that's correct. Yeah.
There's something coming out at the end of May. I want to see.
Well, if we have time for that one, maybe we'll get to it. We're gonna be pretty busy with Last of Us, and then Thunderbolts coming out too.
Yeah, no, but it was something we had said we wanted to cover. It wasn't something I wanted.
Was it Wednesday?
That is coming out soon too.
Oh, okay.
But no, it's at like the end of May.
You said end of May. Oh, okay.
Movie or
Megan
show?
2. No, I was kidding.
Negative.
I'm okay.
That is one of the worst films I've seen. The first one, disliked it very much.
What? May 7th, Annabelle, halfway to Halloween.
Oh, I know that's the one you're definitely gonna see.
Hell yeah. I did not know that was happening. Did you? Me neither. I'm going to go see it with the girls.
Nice.
Oh, that's what's coming out at the end of May.
What?
Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, okay.
And
Nice.
Karate Kid Legends.
Oh, Karate Kid Legends is the one that we're wanted
gonna
to cover.
cover, yeah.
That's right. Okay. That's the end of
That's May 30th.
May 3rd. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right, we got a lot of content for you all, so
Yeah.
stick around.
That'll probably be my birthday review.
Oh, yeah, because
My
it's June
2
1st.
days after, yeah.
Yep, nice. All right. Anything else?
No, dude, I'm excited for all the movies we're going to be seeing.
Oh, yeah. Same.
End of June is 28 years later.
Your boy Eric Voss just said that he thinks Thunderbolts is the best movie since Endgame, but he has to watch it
saw
again.
That.
So that's interesting.
So it wasn't received that well at first, and they made some edits, and but now, yeah, dude. Soups, he's another guy I follow.
Okay.
He loved it. Another guy that he's like this slick back, like Hispanic guy. I can't remember his fucking name.
Does that help with your excitement for the film? Because I know you had some like trepidation going into it. You were like, I'm not really too excited for it, but you're looking forward to it.
I don't have expectations for it.
Okay. Does that help with their expectations now?
Well, yeah, because it better fucking deliver. If Eric Voss is somebody that I very, very much so value his opinion.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. And
cause we're doing this. Well, I'm doing this because of Eric Voss. Mm-hmm. As much as I'm a nerd and I wanted to do this, like seeing him do it and seeing his personality,
he was a role model for you.
Huge role model, huge role model for me. So if he said that, and then some other people that I respect, you know what I mean? I found him more after we've already started this journey with the podcast. Mm-hmm. I've stumbled upon them since then, but yeah, there's a lot of people saying that this is a really good movie.
I'm happy about it because I was already looking forward to it.
Yeah,
and I was just hoping that it was going to be well received, just because with how Marvel movies have been going and fans, and you already know my opinion on that. But
and I have a theory of why I think it's doing so well, because there's a psychological, well, maybe not psychological. There's a mental toughness that they're covering in this, because all these people have lived through crazy amount of trauma.
Yeah,
because they're not technically heroes,
right?
You know what I mean? And that's what made the first saga, the Infinity Saga, so successful, because you would see Tony go through grief after Iron Man 2 and after Avengers, and Iron Man 3 was very much so a movie of him trying to overcome his PTSD. Steve overcoming being frozen for 70 years, then watching in the 70 years, yeah, and then seeing the love of his life pass away.
Yeah,
but knowing she lived a life and got married and had kids, and like there's so much hurt. Thor lost his mom, his dad, and then his brother.
He lost his brother multiple times.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. At this point, he's like, at the end of Ragnarok, he was like, throws the thing at him. He's like, "Oh, you are here."
Yeah.
He's just in disbelief. WandaVision, even though it was right after Endgame, just.
Oh wait, Ragnarok. You're talking about the middle, right? When he's handcuffed and Valkyrie takes him and he throws it.
No, at the end.
Was it at the end?
At the end when they're on the spaceship, because that leads right into Endgame.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, I was mixing up scenes, as I always do, of when he was handcuffed and he was talking about the snake story.
Oh,
which was improv, I think. But yeah, I was mixing up those two scenes. But, okay.
Yeah, that's when they're still on Sakaar.
Yes. Yeah.
No, this is when they're on the spaceship when they left Sakaar, and they save what's left of the
Asgard
people. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot about that part. All right. Nice. Okay.
So there's so much hurt and trauma, and unfortunately, we all fucking relate to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's what made the first Infinity Saga so impactful and just hit us in our hearts, and we grew attachment to these characters.
Yes.
So I hope that.
Also, those were the most popular Marvel characters, so that was also why a lot of people went to go see it.
Huge reason why. Exactly. But now, if they were able to take this, maybe even C- characters in the MCU, and have us grow a heartfelt attachment to them. Yeah, I mean, no wonder why they're all in Doomsday except for one.
Yeah.
So.
Well, not only that, those actors are doing a great job as those characters.
They're good actors. Great actors. All of them.
Yeah, very good actors.
Florence Pugh. What's his name? Sebastian Stan. What's the lady?
David Harbour.
Yeah, David Harbour.
He's one of my favorites, man, because he was just in Working Man, and he played a blind guy.
Did
he? And he did a really good job at that. We almost didn't recognize him because he had a longer beard and everything. Yeah. But yeah. He's also in Stranger Things. He's one of my favorites right now for sure.
Yeah, I can't complain at all. He's a really great actor. And everyone in here, they say Sentry steals the show. Sentry and Black Widow, Yelena steal the show for sure.
Yeah,
they're the main characters. And then people are like, "Oh, well, we don't hate Val at the end of this. They're not mad at her."
Yeah.
So I was like, whoa, what the fuck?
Well, we're now going to see a full story with her in it. She's always been the side story in other projects. So now we're going to see, we're probably just going to understand her motivation and stuff like that. So that makes sense. I All right. Well, yeah, we are very excited for that film to come out now, and we definitely will be giving you all a review on that.
Yep. Next episodes are episode 1 and 2 of Last of Us, and then it's going to be Thunderbolts.
Yes. Yeah. So stay tuned for that. And we want to thank you all for joining us yet again. If you've reached this part, thank you. And until the next time, I am with you.
To the end of the line.
Thanks.
If you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to like and subscribe.
Also, hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all our new episodes and more.